Come after this one. Don't go anywhere.
Yeah, I think the Peter Wright resurgence is probably one of the most inspiring stories in regards to self-belief, because Peter Wright's results, certainly in the last 2 Premier League campaigns, and the results he was getting in the major events, suggested that maybe he was coming towards the end of his career. And certainly the feedback and the responses that he would have got across social media. I remember Peter Wright did an interview not long after his World Match Play defeat to Andrew Gilding, and he said he'll win titles at the back end of the year, and he was called delusional.
99.
Goes to show, as long as you believe in yourself, that's the only thing you need.
Well, there's no shortage of confidence from Peter Wright. You only have to look at the walk-on to tell you that. But still going strong at the age of
82.
54. And let's not forget, a man who wants to hold on to his
58.
status as European champion. He's attached so much significance to these European Tour events. Spoken at great length about how much he loves playing in Europe, wherever it is, whether it's Germany, Belgium, the Netherlands, and now here in Switzerland as well.
130. Peter 126.
And he'll be looking to defend that title.
Richard, you require 31.
And he might not be able to defend his throw, though, here in the opening leg. Veenstra will be expecting a couple of darts to get a break at the first possible chance.
Games on the first leg, Richard Veenstra. Second leg is Richard to throw first. Game on.
Yeah, he's a curious case, is Veenstra, isn't he? I mentioned the fact that he's in this, well, I said a handful, it's about 30 players who were in the second year of the tour card this year, and he's one of them, and he looks good value to hold on to it, but for many years, I mean, Veenstra did sort of treat darts as a bit of a hobby, didn't he? Didn't really know which way to go in terms of whether to treat it as an opportunity to turn it into a career. But I think now, he's got further clues as to where he might be going.
He always did strike me, Richard Veenstra, as one of those players who sort of tried to get a tour card on a couple of occasions, didn't get it, but you felt, but the second he gets it, he's going to keep it. Like the hardest bit was getting. We saw it a few years back with Jamie Hughes, if you remember. It took him a couple of occasions to get hold of his tour card, and now he's held it for many years and has won on that European Tour stage.
Yeah, what I would say to that as well, another Dutchman who might be in the Veenstra bracket there as well. You've hit the nail on the head there. A Dutch player who you feel, once he gets his tour card, might hang on to it quite easily, I think, is Wesley Plaisier.
Oh, 100%.
So there's an example for maybe Plaisier to follow.
101.
Or at least try and
151.
Emulate.
It's not like he's not been trying, he's been attending Q school.
That can so often be the most difficult thing. You're always going to get a surprise package at Q school, winning a card with a surprise result on day one, for example. Peter Wright
122.
can only
40.
Put himself in position. Tops here for Veenstra for a 13-darter.
Games on the second leg, Richard Veenstra.
14 will do.
Peter to throw first. Game on.
Talks about the number of high-profile fixtures that we've had today and the prospect of more tomorrow, but potentially the biggest of the lot if Peter Wright were to win this, and it's a big if right now, by the way. Luke Humphries awaits the winner of this one. That would be tasty for a second-round encounter on the European Tour. Two of the most, aside from Michael van Gerwen, two of the most successful players on the European Tour circuit, given the titles they've won.
91.
And two of the most recognisable as well.
Yeah.
Reputation, CVs, everything you could possibly want. Set up a real heavyweight battle.
98.
MVG won't be adding to his titles this weekend, the tally that he's built up, which he added to recently. forced to pull out of this tournament through illness.
60. $140.
Well, there could be some alarm bells ringing here in the early part of this game for Peter Wright, because Veenstra now making headway on the Peter Wright throw for the second time, and the double break is now on.
45.
Yeah, a timely 140, and the fact that Wright has only thrown 45 in response doesn't bode well here. That's the 80 trimmed off.
140.
Yeah, nicely played, and maybe another 13 or another crack at a 13 darter. It was a 14 darter in leg 2. That's well within reach.
59. Richard, you require 40. Yes, on the third leg, Richard Veenstra.
18 darter, 14 darter, 13 darter.
Game.
And I'll tell you what, Veenstra has won those 3 legs in the blink of an eye. That took very little time. And the crowd has just lost its voice momentarily here as well, because the man they gave the big welcome to, the big ovation to, is not delivering so far for them. A huge number of Peter Wright fans wearing Peter Wright merchandise in the crowd this evening as well. And there we see one of the problems that Peter Wright has right now.
43.
It's the classic silence the crowd situation here, isn't it? From the moment Peter Wright's name was called out, before he'd even entered the arena. Before we even come back from our break, the crowd are singing Peter Wright. The smartphones and devices was out so that they could get their photos and the videos of the man.
140.
But they may only be able to get them in the first round here, because Veenstra's halfway there and he's showing no signs of letting up.
Yeah, he's got the double break already. That's the key thing, and a hold of throw here for a 4-0 lead. And once again, Peter Wright is struggling for big trebles. 38 off that, so 280.
58.
Make that 260. Really settled at all. Another shrug of the shoulders as he goes to retrieve his darts.
58. Richard, you require 143.
The way Veenstra's been checking out in this game, you feel this has to go for Peter Wright, or this is going to be a 4-0 deficit.
Well, we have seen, of course, Peter Wright take out famously big visits like this, big checkouts like this.
Richard, you require 24.
Yeah, never really looked likely from the word go with that one. 24 for Veenstra for 4-0.
Games on the fourth leg, Richard Veenstra.
Once again, as was the case in legs 2 and 3, it is visit perfect for Richard Veenstra. Finishing has been strong and more than good enough.
140. $85. $100.
A lot of timing got to be there on that Richard Veenstra throw, hasn't he? Just see that little turn of the wrist on the drawback. Working perfectly in sync for him at the moment.
105.
Yeah, there's a bit more lift when you look at the arm, upper arm movement. There's a lot more lift from
156.
Veenstra than there is from Peter Wright. A little bit more, a little less jerky.
140. Richard, you require 157.
But right in position this time. Unless.
Good.
Oh my goodness me, Richard Veenstra. That is absolutely stunning, and there's nothing Peter Wright can do about that. Absolute devastation from Richard Veenstra. A 157 checkout, and arguably the best of the day so far. Not in terms of the numbers, but just in terms of the technique and the
28.
The match situation as well, really hammering home his authority in that one.
Yeah, Peter Wright's got to be perfect from here now if he's going to get over the line. And that there is probably the biggest concern for Peter Wright right now, that he's only had the one dart at a double. And that came in the opening leg. Peter Wright acknowledging that he's up against a big performance here from Richard Veenstra, who's been around about that 100 average throughout.
Yeah, I think Peter Wright's average is a little bit artificially high as well, because he's only had one dart at a double, and he missed that anyway. But my goodness me, I mean, Peter Wright was a European Tour champion at the end of August. Not that long ago, he beat Luke Littler in the final in Hildesheim. And yet he's on the cusp here of a 6-0 defeat at the hands of Richard Veenstra.
100.
Well, I don't think many people would have had this one down for a whitewash either way. This is potentially the biggest upset in the offing, even including the likes of Sturkley winning earlier today. Not in terms of the result, but I think in terms of the scoreline.
Is your record 145?
In terms of the way it's happened at the moment, Peter Wright gets a landed blow on Richard Veenstra. Even when it looked like it was going to present itself there, a slip from Peter Wright, and Veenstra with a big score here regain control of the leg.
Well, that was a chance to land a blow as well, and Peter Wright, it would have been, or still could be, a break of throw for Peter Wright. 10 for double 16, or 2 for tops. Went the right way. And a tumplers check out of his own as well.
Peter to throw first. Game.
3 breaks to 1 in Veenstra's favour.
Well, he may not have had many darts out of double or many opportunities to win legs here, Peter Wright, but what he's just said there is, when I get an opportunity, I'm going to take it.
8.
Just a marquee card for the rest of the night. We've got Ian White and Michael Smith in our final match of the evening. Michael Smith, another former world champion who's unseeded this weekend, and we've got Ian White back on the Euro Tour stage for the first time since April. And also next, the fourth and final host nation qualifier, Marcel Valpen, up against another former major champion in the shape of Nathan Aspinall. Veenstra. Little setback in the previous leg, but still very much on track here. Unless Peter Wright can start producing darts and visits like that. The crowd find their voice once again. They want to see a contest in this one. And they don't want to see Peter Wright go home just yet.
Peter Wright will be hoping to turn this around, just like he did this season. Or to start to the year. He's ending it with a bit of a flurry, but he's going to need the crowd on his side. You feel he needs everything on his side right now. He needs
98
to start taking shots like this. To back up the 102 he took out in the last leg. He's going to get a dart at double 12.
Game to the 7th leg.
Well,
Peter Wright.
Just
Richard to throw first.
adding to the level of intrigue. 98 checkout to add to the 102 that he had a few moments ago. 5-0 becomes 5-2.
137.
Perfect start for Veenstra. Could have been more perfect, but that's exactly what he needed. A nice, chunky, meaty number like that to set the ball rolling. Just to put himself in position, get himself in control
86.
from the word go. And yeah, that 86 from Peter Wright as well will certainly enhance his claims.
Veenstra will feel he's got to get this put to bed soon, because Peter Wright is starting to warm to the task and the atmosphere is changing. And if 3,500 people in the crowd can sense that the tide is turning in this game, you can be sure that Richard Veenstra will be feeling the same.
Yeah, you're right. I mean,
140.
won't want to be dwelling on this one too much longer, but may well have to. Veenstra could do with another big visit here. Loads of room either side, but I think they'll be a little bit disappointed that he could only find one treble there in the end. Down to a finish. Are the alarm bells ringing just yet? I don't think they are, but a trebleless visit here, and they might well be.
40. Peter require 170.
Two very low darts.
94. Richard, you require 164.
Well, the 157 was special. The 164 would have been even more so.
79. Peter requires 76.
Well, this, I think, has to go, Peter. Two darts at double eight. To keep himself alive here in Basel.
72.
And that,
Richard, you require 85.
Could so easily be that. Should get a dart. It might only be one. It is only one. And it's at the bullseye for the match.
60. Peter, you require 4.
One match dart comes and goes for Veenstra. Peter Wright looking at double two. He's there. Oh, never in doubt, Peter Wright. 5-0 becomes 5-3. It's another break of throw. 3 breaks to 2. That lead is being eaten away by Peter Wright, and the crowd are just sensing that something special might happen here.
There's some turnaround. When Veenstra took out the 157 to go 5-0 up, we thought it was moments away from the end of the game, but now business is starting to pick up.
And not only that, he's kicked off with a 180 for good measure as well. So, I mean, already it's a tall order for Veenstra to find a way through on the Peter Wright throw in this one. Any hopes of a 9-darter have been dashed, but Peter Wright won't really mind about that. It's all about getting that 4 on the scoreboard.
Well, when we look at the advantage of throw, Veenstra's only got one chance left, where he will throw first for the match, and that'll be in the next leg should we go there. And now there'll just be that little bit of panic setting in for Veenstra, because he'll feel he had it done at 5-0.
Well, the adrenaline will be absolutely flying through Veenstra right now. You can just tell by the way that single 5 was so off target. Look at the numbers for Peter Wright here, closing in on an 11-darter. That would be the best leg of the match so far if you can
require 88.
Pull it off, but my goodness me, 6 darts from here, doesn't matter if it's 11. Might be 11 anyway. Double 14.
Games on the 9th leg.
On we go.
10th leg, Richard to throw first. Game on.
Could be a spectacular fight back by Peter Wright, who, let's face it, did something very similar in that final not so long ago. Just seems to be able to produce something special, something magical when he needs to go to the well once again, dig deep once again.
This is a big dart. Veenstra coming up dry with the opening 3, and Peter Wright letting him get away with this here. This is the last big push here to try and get that final breaker throw off of Veenstra. But it's all getting a little bit edgy.
41.
Well, I don't think he can believe what's happening here. His lead is evaporating before his eyes. 87 points scored with his first 6 darts as well. But Peter Wright really hasn't been able to take full advantage so far. And all it takes here for Veenstra is just one big visit. Even something like that will do, just to give himself something to work with moving forward. Can't really afford to be chasing in this all-important 10th leg on throw.
59.
Yeah, those first 2 darts were a little bit prohibitive, weren't they? And Veenstra, what can he salvage from here?
100.
Veenstra doing his part here, forcing Peter Wright, you feel, into a max.
140 to leave the fish, of course. He's just gone the wrong side. May have been a slight deflection.
135.
Yeah, 135 when he would have loved the 140. And how costly will that prove to be?
60.
I think we go to the decider from here.
Well, chances have been very limited for Veenstra, haven't they? Since being 5-0 up, he's only managed 1 match dart, and that was at the bullseye. And if he's to get another one here, he needs to hit a treble with the opening 2 darts, with Peter Wright set to strike.
Peter Wright has already taken out a double-8 finish in this one.
49. Peter requires 76.
Can he find the treble 20? Not on this occasion. Oh, he's missed the 16. That is absolutely astonishing. Well, that leaves 48. He needed 8 more to leave tops.
Richard, you require 65.
What a let-off for Veenstra. He might well nick this after that huge gift from his opponent. Tops he wants.
45.
Second match start comes and goes for Richard Veenstra.
Peter, you require 40.
And a reprieve for Snakebite after missing the big number a few moments ago. Double 10.
20.
Can't be found.
Richard, you require 20.
And it's Veenstra who's looking at the very same target. Third match start for Richard Veenstra. Four match starts have come and gone. But double 5 comes to his rescue. My goodness me, what a tussle that was. Richard Veenstra knows he's got away with that one because Peter Wright had the opportunities there to force the decider. He was breathing down his neck all the way there. 5-0 down, Peter Wright, but the champion